I know Sarah Gilbert was instrumental in that, and and that was the first time I found out Roseanne's politics. She was a Donald Trump because she hated him when we were together, and she was the first feminist I'd ever met. Like she was so different than everyone in Iowa. The women I grew up with. I grew up with some great women, but Roseanne was very thoughtful and liberal, and you know, so and I love that about her. So when I hear that the show's coming back, and then I hear that she is a Trump fan, it all happened at the same time as my show's coming out, anti-Trump fan. I didn't think I'd be a part of the show. It would be smart if they had me part of the show. Like it would be smart for them to have me do her roast. I mean, I got paid to do it, and I got a private jet to fly me to Nashville but still, it would be very smart of them. But I know that her hatred, I just knew it was going to happen. But I did for the Hollywood Reporter review the pilot, like thoughtfully reviewed the pilot, and I liked it. Obviously I'm attached to the original show. I wrote that. I was on it. It was better in my, but this was very good. This is as good as you could do. And they had some good writers, and Whitney Cummings and Wanda Sykes, and Bruce Helford is very good. He's from the old days. So I thought this show would be very, very good. But I had a bad feeling right away because she hadn't shut down her social media. And I kind of did a deep dive into her social media, and it was so racist and so conspiracy. Um, so as the show started going on, she started tweeting stuff, and her daughter Jennifer reached out to me, my old stepdaughter, and said, "Hey, what can we do about this?" And you know what I would have done about it if her show would have been on the line. And she always said she wanted to quit the original Roseanne show. I'm quitting today. I'm quitting. I'm goddamn it. But I knew that if she ever did, she would be devastated. So I had to. Here's the reasons you got to go to work. Here's kick my car stereo in, do whatever you want. But this and it became a real chore to get her to go to work, and it became that hurts the relationship too when you're in that kind of a.
Yeah.
But because there was one time when she said, "I'm quitting," I go, "Let's go up to Tom Warner's office," and she goes, I don't get any respect here. Give me one reason I should stay on this show." And he goes, "I will give you 100 million good reasons." We both
Seriously.
like, that's fucking real deal. Um, but I knew she started. She wrote a letter to every member of Congress saying John McCain was a war criminal. I mean, that takes a lot of effort. And the Boston bomber was a false flag thing. And so, her daughter, her kids are getting very concerned. And here's what I would have, and I suggest this a couple times. I sent them a picture of a phone that goes to a different server before it goes up. If someone wants to tweet something, I said, tell her Donald Trump doesn't do his own tweets. Tell her, or throw her fucking phone in the river. Like there would have been no Wi-Fi if I was, and it was a lot of work being that guy. But I would have shut it the fuck down until the show was done. There's a lot of ways to do a lot of things, and sometimes you have to protect people from themselves. But what happened with the show is the first season finished, and people were like, "Are you going to be as political pro-Trump next year?" And so she told all the Trump people, "Yeah, I am." The QAnon people that she's fucking following and friends with the all solid QAnon, crazy, you know. Um, and then she told the other people, "No, we're not going to be as political." So the weekend before the writers were to come back on a Tuesday, I was like, "This is going to be a bad weekend for her," because she's self-destructive, and she really didn't want to come back. And by the way, the original show got canceled. The original show, John Goodman was not even on it the last season. So you have to remember, things run out. Seinfeld, every show has a run. And I worked on it the first 6 years, and it was good. But, 6 years is a long time to be good. And 9 years is kind of impossible. But, that weekend, she started with something about a donkey and Chelsea Clinton's face, and I got a hold of her daughter. I go, she better fucking apologize for that right now. She can go at Hillary Clinton, but going at somebody's daughter, a woman with 3 daughters, I go, you got to get her. She's got to get her shit together. And then by Sunday, she did the very racist thing. But if you see everything leading up to it, um, and I'm proud that Disney immediately Bob Iger, who did it, who just I think retired. Bob Iger used to come over to our house and stand at the bottom of her bed to get her to go to work, and you know, sometimes she had a facelift, sometimes, but that's how he started his career.
Wow.
You know, and he's a really good man. He is a solid, good human being, and he ran Disney, and he just said, "We're not doing this." And my thing at the time was every little black kid has heard this monkey bullshit growing up. I'm Jewish. I've heard, and you know how fucking mean kids are. And I didn't have a mother, so you imagine shit. But I'm telling you, for an adult, a multi-millionaire white Jewish woman to fucking perpetuate that is unacceptable. Some of the people look to on TV, like, that's America's Mom, or that's why Dean Cain is on my shit list, because he was like Superman, and now he's one of those assholes. You know, um, but that's really what happened, and they had to. I can't imagine how hard it would have been the next season to be a writer on that show or a producer, because every week, because she was feeding into the negativity like Trump does, feeding into it, and Trump was talking about her, but he'll tell you what, he fucking dumped her the second the show got canceled.
That's nice of you to even like interject and try to call her daughter and try to
Oh
offer
yeah, yeah. Well,
advice.
they reached out to me first, and I thought, what, and then I researched it because I had my guys from Vice, and we kind of download, you know, I got into some emails and got into research, and I had to threaten some of the guys. These leaders of this, like, I'm gonna, we're gonna shut the lights off in your house if you need to stay the fuck away from her. And maybe one day they'll all come out, where all of a sudden we drop in the middle of their email conversations. And I'm like, what are you fucking in love with her? I went every which way to get these fucking people to stop, to her to stop. And I thought if you isolate her enough, maybe she'll come to her, get her wits about her. Maybe she needs a mental health week or something. That would certainly be, but you have to get off of this shit. But, and her boyfriend, very nice guy from all I'm told, but he's not a guy that will throw her phone in the fucking river. And sometimes you shouldn't need that, but sometimes you may at least give the person a chance to be their best self, and
Right.
make it, if they're going to make a decision, a bad decision, at least be your best self when you're making that decision. So there you go.
And you heard from them before the tweet, like, or was it because of the tweet? Or like, did you hear from them just even when the show
No,
came
the
back?
whole, as soon as the season started,
Oh, wow.
and she was tweeting shitty stuff anyway before that tweet.
Right.
And so I just said, "Oh, this is going to go." And I said to Jen, "This weekend is going to be a rough weekend, because this is the last weekend before the show comes back on Tuesday. All those writers are coming back, and she's told half of them we're all Trump, and then the other half we're not Trump." And she told all these fans, and that pressure, she's going to do something really fucking stupid this weekend.
Wow.
And so she did.